Hey guys, how's it going? Video number 6, I believe. So first of all, let's talk about the campaign that I've launched for my latest client. So I think I said in my last video, worrying about it not going anywhere. Yeah, still kind of the same thing. So haven't really had, I think I've had 2 replies. One person said, I'm not interested. The other person said, I'll keep your information on hand for future reference. But yeah, that's it's obviously not what I want to see. I really wanted to see that kind of take off and just give me that confidence. Okay, cool. We've got 2 clients that are really performing well, gives me that stability. But whatever, we don't have that at the minute, so I need to just keep going with that. As a quick change to that, beforehand, I was trying to, in the first email, I was asking for a call. So, hey, we do this. Here's how we helped another company, and I was saying like, I'd love to discuss this over a coffee if that sounds interesting. And I said, P.S. we can. I'll send you a voucher for the coffee. So yeah, but I've changed that now, and I've changed it to say, can I send over some more information? The reason for this being is that even though I'm offering $5 for a coffee, I think it adds a lot of friction where someone has to think, okay, well, to get on to obtain more information about your service, I have to get on a call. I have to check my diary, check my schedule. I have to find time in my schedule to jump on that call. Compared to just saying, yes, I want to see more information. So that's really what we're trying to do, is just trying to optimize the process to get someone to I don't know what happened there. Get someone to display interest with as little friction as possible. So I think this is definitely the better strategy, but it's only 2 days in yet. It's still very early days, so just going to keep going with it and gradually ramping up the volume. So in terms of how many emails I'm sending out per day, I was only sending out 150 yesterday. I think I've moved up to 250 today. So just going to gradually build up to we're sending like 1,000 per day, and we'll see how that goes. I think like I'd be very, very surprised if I don't get any results there, but I've got like PTSD from my first client where, 3 months barely got anything. So, but yeah, really want to make it work for them. I think more so because they were previously working with a vendor and like a different person doing what I do, and it was working with them and then it stopped working. So I think that just adds a little bit of pressure on top as well. But yeah, very early days. I'm just kind of in that mindset that I mentioned before. I'm just kind of like worrying about it not working, but it's just like unwarranted panic really. It's all fine. I'm sure it'll be fine. I just need to keep going with it. In terms of my other client, things are going really well with them. We'll call them SM Software for yeah, whatever. We'll call them SM Software. So they're really, really happy. So I've been working with them for a while now, but our campaign's been launched for probably around 6 to 7 weeks. So we've got them 30 leads in total, at least 30 now. And we're getting interest from some really big players. So like Samsung the other day, Salesforce, and yeah, he's really, really happy with how things are going. He said he was very skeptical at first. I'm just going to bring up one of his messages, but he said he was very skeptical at first about like cold email marketing, and like he didn't think it was going to be that effective. But when we were on the call the other week, he was saying, how impressed he was and how it's really changed his perception on like the effectiveness of this. So, but he sent me a message yesterday, and this was a nice like motivation boost really. He said, by the way, I just want you to know that you're doing a great job and I truly appreciate your efforts, top notch. As we start getting revenue/funding, do you guys also handle things like paid LinkedIn search, etc.? To which I replied to that, I said, thank you, Steve. Glad you're happy with how things are going. Yeah, absolutely. Do you mean LinkedIn outreach and paid LinkedIn ads? If so, yeah, we can handle those too. So full transparency at this point, I've never done LinkedIn outreach, as in like contacting people on LinkedIn, the same as what I'm doing via email. So contacting people at scale on LinkedIn and selling an offer. And then obviously on top of that as well, LinkedIn advertisements. So deploying advertisement campaigns on LinkedIn. So I've never done that either. So LinkedIn outreach, I think that's going to be very, very straightforward. It's pretty much exactly what I'm doing with email, just using LinkedIn as the medium. So that's fine. In terms of paid LinkedIn ads, I've never done like paid advertising before, but it's definitely something I've been looking into doing and have been researching. So I think when we come to have that discussion, I'll just be very transparent and say like, look, this isn't something we've done before, but it's something I've been working on bringing into our business. And if you're happy to, we can do that as an upsell as well. So in terms of pricing for that, they're not paying me anything at the minute. It's just purely commission based. So they're paying me 15% commission per deal, which their deals are like 35,000 a year. So that works out to like $5,500 ish. So when we get round to when they get funding, when they get revenue, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pitch $4,000 a month and 5% commission for email campaigns and then LinkedIn campaigns as well. So LinkedIn outreach campaigns. I'm going to say, look, let's just do that to start off with rather than overcomplicating everything. Let's do that to start with. And then once we've kind of like started generating some traction on both the LinkedIn side and the email side, then we can bring in LinkedIn advertisements, and that would be like an additional £1,000 per month. Obviously they'd need to pay for their own ad spend and stuff, but that would be up to me to deploy the campaigns and make sure they're running effectively and generating a return on their investment. So but I think it's a very, very good opportunity. It's as much as it's not something I've done before, I'm sure I'm going to be able to do a good job with it. And as I said in my last video, I want to kind of move to not just lead generation, but moving into like full growth. So it's definitely a good step in the right direction. But yeah, it's a very nice confidence and morale boost getting that positive comment, because I think if I didn't have this client, I'd be thinking like, I must be doing something wrong. And that's not always the case. It's not always, obviously ultimately it all comes down to you, but I think sometimes it's just, there's a lot of luck involved, obviously. Sometimes it might not be, I don't know. Obviously, I think, to be honest, at the end of the day, it does all come down to you. But if you're working with bad offers, then there's not really a lot you can do. And I don't really have the experience to know what a bad offer is at the moment. So, but yeah, all is to say that's going really well, and early days for my other clients. So let's just keep moving forward with that. I've got I just followed up with everyone today. Everyone in my pipeline have just followed up. I kind of felt like I was being annoying, but then I thought like, why the fuck am I worried about that? Like, I'm just I don't know these people. Like, let's just send another email. Like, what's the worst they can do is tell me to fuck off. And I quite like getting like abusive emails, because it just breaks up the monotony of just the regular no thank you, not interested, unsubscribe. Some guy told me that I've ruined his holiday, and I thought that was quite funny. So yeah, I've just reached back out to everyone that I've sent a proposal to and they haven't replied. Anyone that's has previously shown interest, I've just spent the morning going through absolutely everyone and just optimizing my workflow a bit. So on Google, you can now set up I didn't realize you can do like email templates. So if I'm constantly sending the same follow-ups, I can just create a template in Gmail, or I can just right click and say send this template, and then I'll edit it. But rather than just writing the same thing out, like, it's a small optimization, but over time that adds up. It really does take a lot of my time going through, copying, pasting, searching for an email where I've said something similar. So massive optimization there. And I think a big one for me at the minute is that I'm not doing my best work, in the sense of like, I'm not focused. And the big reason for that is like, I'm wasting so much time flicking through YouTube Shorts. Since I've been uploading these videos, I've spent a lot more time on the YouTube app and the YouTube Shorts. Like, I hate the short form content, like the short form media, because it's so addictive. I used to speak to my girlfriend about this all the time, about like Instagram Reels and how they're really bad, and like lots of other people too. But there I am spending 40 minutes on the toilet, like just going through YouTube Shorts, and like now my brain's got to a point where it's like, I don't know, it definitely needs rewiring. I definitely need a break from it, because like, for example, I get in this evening from the gym and I just sit down on that sofa over there and I'm just like doing nothing. I'm like, I don't know, I'm looking for some kind of like stimulus, but work isn't the stimulus that that my brain's looking for. It's just looking to watch some stupid videos, watch some reels, go through Twitter, go and see if my Instagram videos got any more likes, just dumb shit like that. And it's a small thing, but actually it's a massive thing, because okay, let's look at the alternative scenario. I come through the door, get straight in the shower. I came in from the gym, get straight in the shower. Okay, cool, I've got some work to do. Instead I've wasted like 2 hours just doing things slowly, listening to a podcast while I'm making dinner, and they are small things, but like I'm starting to like genuinely feel like it's really getting in the way, and it's impacting my consistency and my output. Ultimate question is, am I doing enough work? Am I doing the best that I can be doing at the minute, given the scenario that I'm in, where I need to make this work and I need to earn enough money to offset the loss of my job? The answer is no. I'm not doing enough work. Like, I'm kind of just getting into that, like, oh cool, I haven't got a job anymore. I can chill out a bit. I can go and play golf. I can go and spend as much time as I want at the gym, and then when I get in, I'm gonna go on my phone for a bit. And that's not the attitude that I need to have, and that's not going to get me to where I need to be. Now is the time that I need to be more focused than ever before. And yeah, all is to say that the distractions with social media are really getting in the way. As I said in my last video, gaming's not really a problem at the minute. That used to be my biggest problem. Now it's like I keep getting sucked into social media. So what I'm going to do, and I really, really don't want to do this, which is more of a sign that I do need to do it. But I'm going to start doing a dopamine detox. And this video like structure will help keep me focused on that as well, because I'll have to be transparent and honest, and this will help me to just document the process and stay on track. Often when I'm doing these things, I'll do it for like a week and then I'll just slowly fall off. Whereas if I'm having to talk about it, then like it's keeping me on the straight and narrow. So I don't really know what the parameters of that would look like. I think the obvious ones are like deleting all social media apps, not using them on I haven't got Instagram, but I keep going on the browser version. I think for YouTube, obviously I'm uploading these videos. There's a YouTube app where you can it's called YouTube Studio or something, and I was really hoping that you could upload videos on there, and that way I wouldn't have to worry about getting sucked into watching videos. But anyway, you can't upload videos on that for some reason. I think that's really dumb. But so with YouTube, what I'm going to have to do is set a really strict rule where as soon as the only time I can use the YouTube app is to upload my videos. There's to be no watching videos, and I'll be honest in here if I've been abusing that. But what we are 11th of October today, so I mean there's no reason why I won't be able to do this until indefinitely really. But let's do this, let's keep going with this until the 1st of November. And just see what happens. So yeah, no apps. Well, I mean, I don't really do any other shit like the obvious stuff, like video games and everything else like that. The main one for me at the minute is apps, and eating as well. To be fair, like I'm a big comfort eater. I do like, or I have been in the past. I do love getting if I'm feeling down or like feeling bored, then I'll just eat, get a takeaway. So that's a big one as well. And I never used to really think about eating as being like a dopamine, like a way of kind of like getting that dopamine craving. But it's kind of the same thing. I won't overcomplicate it. I'm not going to do that. But I think this is just going to allow me to kind of just use my time effectively. Like when I'm in a good flow, like I'm writing stuff down. I might be doing some journaling. I might be meditating. I'm not doing any of that stuff now. I'm just doing I'm still training well, like in the gym. My work's probably at to be honest, 50% like max effort. So that can be massively improved. And I think it's just going to be what do they call it? Like a positive feedback loop, and you know, by writing stuff down, by meditating, by doing those things where I would be spending that time like watching shorts or YouTube Instagram reels or whatever, that's going to put me in a much better state of mind for doing my next activity, and that next activity goes better, so that's going to put me in a better state of mind for doing my next activity, and it's going to be a real just loop of positivity. Not to say it's not going to be hard, but that's why I need to do it, because it is like wasting my time watching dumb shit is not positive at all, and it's not going to get me to where I need to be. So yeah, that's the plan. And sleep as well, that's a big one. Like my sleep, like I've been getting into that state of mind that I used to get into when I was younger, when I didn't have to be up for work or anything the next day, and I used to just stay up till like, my dad would always wake up at like 6 a.m. for work, and I'd still be up playing COD in my boxes, which is like disgusting now to think about it. But the other night I almost got into that same mentality. It was like 11:45, which isn't that late, but I was like, I just didn't feel like going to bed. It almost annoyed me, the thought of going to bed, and I thought, this is stupid. Like, and it was very synonymous with that mentality that I used to get into when I was just gaming. So there's something to that. And it's not like I was busy doing like something really important with work. I was working, but I wasn't like in a deep flow with it or anything. But yeah, need to improve the sleep, and I'm hoping that just comes with not spending time, because again, you get into bed and you just sit on your phone for like half an hour at least, and then you're not primed to go to sleep at all. So yeah, that's the plan. And I think as well, just as a final point for this video, I know I said in my last video, like I want this to be raw and authentic, and I really do want it to be that way. But I think one thing I'm going to try and do is make try and keep, like when I'm talking about my business stuff, I appreciate not many people are going to really understand, like when I'm talking about inframail and like email warm up, not to just go too in deep, not to go too in depth in that stuff, because I want this to be relatable and applicable to like running any business, not just about lead generation or what I'm doing, but it's just the process of just going through the highs, going through the lows, and overcoming the challenges, and when everything looks hopeless, there's always like a light at the end of the tunnel. That's kind of what I'm looking to get out of this. So more of a broader sense of like just personal growth and business development, not specifically geared towards my niche. So there will be times where I'll have to mention stuff specifically about what I'm doing in my campaigns and the email, some technicalities of the email stuff or whatever. But I think that's something I'm going to try and do, is just try to get better at simplifying the language and to make it more easily understandable. So but yeah, that's pretty much the end of the video. Sorry, one last final point is I've been doing a lot more powerlifting recently, and there's been a real noticeable difference in my mental state. Everyone always says squatting, doing heavy squats is very, very good for your testosterone production, and I've never really given it much respect, I suppose. I've always had a dodgy knee, so I've never really done much in that department. But there's been I've been doing a powerlifting program. There's a competition coming up at the end of November, and I've been doing a program now for 6-7 weeks, but there's really been a noticeable improvement in my mental state. I feel much more energetic and aggressive, but in a positive way. It's quite hard to describe, but it's a noticeable difference, and it's very good. So yeah, anyway, I think we can talk about more gym stuff in the future, maybe do some gym videos at some point, but for now I'm just going to keep it like this. I've got the sales calls coming up on Friday, and then I've got a couple of sales calls next week, so going to record some of them. They'll just be up as separate videos, but yeah, looking forward to doing them. I think that's going to be a nice additional aspect of this channel, is just documenting those, because I know people have done them before, but not on a continual basis. So yeah, I think that's going to be really cool to see. But Plan to make this one a short one. It's getting to 20 minutes. I'm going to leave this one here. But again, if you like the video, just drop a comment. Like, comment, subscribe if you want to see the other ones. And I will see you in the next video.